Yesterday was a decent day. Let's see if we can't build on some profit with Wednesday. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis, of course, with Winning Bets, giving you guys free sports picks every single day. That's right, you guys heard it. It's Wednesday. It's hump day for us here, but more importantly, we like to call it Wednesday. So let's see if we can put some profit in our pocket today. Before we do that, let's, of course, make sure we go ahead and recap yesterday's action. As you guys can see here on the tweet, we had some wins and we had some losses, of course, but it depends on what you're betting on whether or not you had profit or not, and that's what I mean there in the opener. Is we had a decent day. I've kind of talked to a couple people that were blindly betting those MLB Dogs. They have now backed off. I'm assuming based on those individuals and not hearing from some other people that I may be only blindly betting these dogs by myself at this point. So if you aren't betting on those dogs, as you can see there on the bottom of the tweet, you did turn a profit whether you didn't bet the MLB Dogs. And if you also did not live bet Cole Irvin with me, you still turned a profit. How do you turn a profit? Well, you hit a plus 148 winner there in Liverpool versus Manchester United, with Liverpool going over their team total in goals, over 2.5 goals. Just demolished Manchester United. Got those 4 goals easily. Got 2 at halftime, 2 in the second half. Breezed by Manchester United. Our other bet in that game, we did lose the corners market, but again, because the goals was at plus 148, we were able to turn a profit in that game. I can say as a Manchester United fan, I actually enjoyed that butt kicking. Like, I mean, obviously it helps that I had money on Liverpool and I was rooting for Liverpool goals. That certainly played a part of it, but just Manchester United just needs a full-on wake-up call. I don't know if that's going to do it because they haven't gotten one, over the course of what seems like the last half a decade or half a dozen years, but yeah, maybe hopefully that'll change that club and I don't know, maybe turn them for the better, but it was enjoyable to see them actually get their ass kicked, to be quite frankly. So those were our only 2 soccer plays, of course. Then we rolled into baseball. We started off our day with the cash and that Nerfy and that Diamondbacks versus Nationals game, the early game in game 1. So easy, no sweat Nerfy right there. Love when those Nerfies are no sweat. Twins F5 team total over 2.5 runs at plus 135 came through for us in the 5th inning. The Twins bats woke up. They were kind of hitting Hernandez. Even in the 3rd inning, had a runner thrown out at home, which I was actually kind of gutted and thought that may cost us that bet. But again, as I said, in the 5th inning, those Twins bats kept swinging, came alive, and were able to put some runs on the board, getting over 2.5 runs. We lost Astros team total over 4.5 runs. They got beat by those Angels 7-2. And then Robbie Ray over 18.5 outs. We lost that one on the hook as he only went 6 innings. We needed 1 more out. Thought maybe he would come out. He was only at 85 pitches, and he had the batting order coming up. I think it was either 6, 7, or 8 or 7, 8, and 9. Can't quite remember off the top of my head, but either way, it was towards the back end of that lineup. I thought maybe they'd run him out for at least 1 more out. Nah, they didn't do that. They pulled him after 6 innings, so we lost that one on the hook. Then we put in a couple live bets last night. DraftKings they fell asleep at the wheel. I mean, quite frankly, they fell asleep on the wheel. It was in the 5th inning, I think, when they took it down, maybe in the 6th inning, but it was in the 4th inning when I started to notice that they still had props up for Cole Irvin. They're the Athletics pitcher. They had all of his props up: walks, earned runs, strikeouts, you name it. Well, the strikeouts and the outs one are the 2 that appealed to me, because at the time I noticed in the 4th inning, he only had 2 strikeouts, and they still had his over-under at 4.5, and he was at 70 pitches. I was okay, I'll go ahead and bet that, under 4.5 strikeouts. Did that. He ended up striking out the last batter there in that 4th inning to get the 3 strikeouts, which then had him at 75 pitches, but I felt good. I felt good right there, still at 75 pitches. Didn't think he was going to, go much more 95, 100 pitches, and I didn't think he was going to get 2 strikeouts in those next 20 pitches, which he did not. He ended the game with 4 strikeouts, so we cashed that one. And same logic there with under 17.5 outs. When I made that bet, the 4th inning was over. He had 75 pitches. There was no way he was going to run out there and complete 2 more innings. So that one was an absolute easy bet, under 17.5 outs. And as you can see there in the screenshot, put 2 units on both of those. Absolutely just took advantage of DraftKings in that moment. And quite frankly, to be honest, I only put those 2 units on there, but I was interacting with some guys on Twitter. We're actually having a good time last night, interacting with people on Twitter that were taking advantage of this situation with me. And I actually deposited a lot of money in DraftKings and threw a lot of money on under 17.5 outs, because that one was at even money. Paid for my son's college last night. I mean, I stuck it to DraftKings. Like I said, deposited a lot of money, made that bet, and I've also deposited or withdrew a lot of money this morning when I woke up, saw that they scored those bets as winners. I withdrew my money before DraftKings did something goofy. So, all right, Noah can go to college now. Got that all paid for. Oh, and as you can see right there, though, the last thing in that tweet is the dogs. Whoa, the dogs were not good to us. 4-12. Just got handed to us last night in the dogs. That's the reason why I personally did not turn a profit. I would have turned a profit, as this tweet says, without Cole Irvin, without those MLB dogs. It would have been a profitable day, but the dogs, whoa. 4-12, it was absolutely ugly. So down on the week, or down on the day, 2.82 units. Again, only if you're doing the MLB dogs. And for me, because I'm doing those MLB dogs, down 4.89 units on the week. Really gonna need those dogs to step up today. Gonna need it. I mean, we lost money Monday, Tuesday now with those dogs. Gonna need some bark on those dogs on this Wednesday. Outside of that, the only other action we had on yesterday's slate was that Liverpool corners bet, of course, for the free giveaway. That one obviously didn't cash because we didn't cash our other bet. So now we're on attempt number 8, and I'm gonna use it on Connor McDavid. And I'm gonna go ahead and slap $50 here on Connor McDavid, see if we can't give away $40 on tomorrow's show. Thinking that this one is I'm personally not betting it. Look, we rode him to 7 straight wins. We were just blindly betting him after 2 wins. The next 5, we just blindly bet. Well, everybody knows after those 7 wins, he's now cooled off and gotten us 2 losses. Maybe he can win one for the people here. So I decided to put that free giveaway bet. So hopefully Connor McDavid can go over his shots on target and give somebody $40 on tomorrow's show. As for baseball for today and those MLB underdogs, these are those MLB underdogs I'm backing in. And like I said earlier, I just need a good day out of these dogs. I mean, just now we're actually down on the overall season on betting MLB dogs blindly. Again, we're just blindly betting MLB dogs. With the bad day Monday, bad day Tuesday, we are now down on the season in terms of profit backing these dogs. So just need a good day. So hopefully these guys can come through for us here and give us some bark on this Wednesday. All right, as you can see there on the thumbnail, though, big day in soccer and big day in the Premier League, La Liga. Lots of games going on today. I've, of course, always just kind of focus on the Premier League. I look at those other leagues and try and see if there's some advantages. Always love the cards market there in La Liga, but we weren't getting good referees assigned to the matchup, so no bets there from La Liga today. But again, we're going to go heavy here in the Premier League. Going to see if we can't take advantage of some good matchups in the Premier League. And of course, the first one starts off there with Manchester City against Brighton. Gave you guys win to nil yesterday at -135, so got that one in play. And then I'm going to add to it Manchester City -4 shots on target at -105 over at DraftKings. So there is the option to get a push here at -4 if that is the difference between the shots on target. If you're going to go ahead and do research on this bet before you bet it, the head-to-heads can be a little bit misleading because the 2 most recent head-to-heads have both been at Brighton, and Brighton was able to score. Brighton was able to actually, be fairly good in both of those games. But in one of those 2 games, Consuelo picked up a red card in the 10th minute. Obviously, even as good as City is, when you're reduced down to 10 men, you're going to struggle. So if you look at the head-to-head, though, at home, which Manchester City is at home today, they've got 4 straight clean sheets at home versus Brighton. That's the kind of game I think we're expecting today. Manchester City at home, going to dominate Brighton. Brighton is playing good lately. I mean, a win over Arsenal, a win over Tottenham. But I'm telling you guys, the gap between Liverpool, Manchester City, and then the rest of the league is absolutely huge. So while Brighton may be on a nice little run, it's going to come to a screeching halt here on the road at the Etihad there against Manchester City. And City, they're going to take this obviously completely serious. I mean, look what Liverpool did yesterday. Now they're in first place. You don't want Liverpool to win the quadruple. You don't want Liverpool to win the league. You want to win the league. I'm expecting City to just absolutely dominate this game, win it to nil, and have all the shots on target. And if Brighton gets more than 2 shots on target, I'll be absolutely surprised. I don't think they're going to get 1, maybe 2 shots on target. So seeing City dominate this game. So 2 bets on this one again. It's City to win to nil and City -4 shots on target. Next game on the slate here is Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. I'm going with over 2.5 goals at +134 over at FanDuel. Look, Newcastle's home games, they average 3.1 goals per game. Crystal Palace on the road is 2.7. The last head-to-heads, you've seen a cash and 2 have missed by the hook. So you've been right there, right? You're kind of right there, and you're sitting there holding a +134 ticket. I like that. And then lastly, look, this is just going to be a good game of football in my mind. 2 teams that really aren't worried about any relegation. They've got 37 points. They can just kind of have fun with their football in the remaining part of this season. So because of that, because of how Newcastle plays at home, I mean, look what they did last week against Leicester. going until the last kick of the game, getting that header and winning that game 2-1 against Leicester. This is a team that's just going to absolutely go for it. Both of these teams are going to go for it. They're just sitting in an absolute pretty position in the table. So I'm just expecting a good game of football, and I'm expecting goals in this one. So it's Newcastle Palace over 2.5 goals at -134, or +134. Sorry, +134. Big difference. I wouldn't play this at -134. Wouldn't do it at -134. Woo. Everton versus Leicester is another game today in the Premier League. Just going back to the well here. I mean, how many times is Leicester going to cash over 2.5 goals for us? The answer is a lot, and the answer is also hopefully one more time, because I've gone ahead and snagged this at -105 over at BetMGM. I mean, that's the justification. It's back to the well. I could regurgitate all the information I've given to you guys before in a Leicester match, but what's the point? We already know the information. We've cashed a ton of over 2.5s. We've been adding both teams to score when we need to get the right value. You don't need to add both teams to score in this scenario. It's at -105, so don't worry about it. I mean, there's a chance that Everton throws up another stinker. That's why the reason why they're in the relegation fight, and Leicester gets all 3 of these goals. I don't think that'll happen. I do think Everton gets goals at home at Goodison Park as they're fighting for relegation, but so don't add both teams to score. Don't get greedy. You've seen what happened between Tottenham and Villa a couple weeks ago. We didn't get greedy. We just did over 2.5 goals, and Tottenham took care of that 4-0. So don't get greedy. You're at -105. Let's just go back to the well here on the Leicester match and cash over 2.5 goals. All right, now over to what everybody thinks will be the best game of the day. It's Chelsea versus Arsenal. I was absolutely conflicted on this game, and I was conflicted between, is this game going to see under 2.5 goals, or is I going to bet Chelsea team total over 1.5 goals? Under 2.5 goals, you can get it around -110, -115, kind of the exact same price for Chelsea team total over 1.5 goals. But I was so conflicted on one of those two possibilities. I just went to the props market in this game. I like Chelsea -2 shots on target. They're at home. These two bets that I'm going to give you have done really well at home. If you look at recent head-to-heads when it's been at the Emirates, okay, these two bets haven't fared too well. But when it's been at home, when it's been at Stamford Bridge, these bets have done really well. Chelsea shots on target -2. Again, we get the option to push. It's at -130 over at DraftKings. And then Chelsea -2 on the corners is at -110 over at DraftKings. Again, another bet that we can go ahead and push. I feel really good about these two bets. With it being at Stamford Bridge, I'm expecting a really good performance by Chelsea. They're going to dominate possession. I think it'll be around, that 60-40, maybe 65-35. I mean, that's just what's happened here in this head-to-head when it's been at Stamford Bridge. So I just conflicted on the goals, so I went right to the props market. Just think Chelsea will have more shots on target, more corners, just due to their ball possession and their attacking nature at home. So that's where I settled on there between that Chelsea-Arsenal game. All right, I gave you guys a fair amount of soccer bets, so let's go ahead and recap it here in the ending. Let's do Manchester City win to nil at -135. Manchester City -4 shots on target at -105. Newcastle and Crystal Palace will have over 2.5 goals at +134. Everton and Leicester will also have over 2.5 goals at -105. Chelsea -2 shots on target at -130. And Chelsea -2 corners at -110. And a few of those bets can obviously go ahead and get us a push as well. All right, that's how we're going to do it today in soccer. Come join me on the payoff pitch at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'll give you guys my baseball bets over there. Enjoy your Wednesday, guys. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today. And check out my other great videos in these corners.